Hello, I'm Youla Azkarrula. I'm student of Dr. Susanna M. Hoffman. So my study is about revisiting Palelintangan in Bali. This is my preliminary study of my PhD research. So as I found some collection in Museum Bali, there are 8 kind of cloth containing the artworks, and one of them are colorless. But then all of the origin source are unknown because they don't provide any dates for the collection. And all of the collections here is called Palelintangan. So Palelintangan is a traditional astrological system from Bali. Palelintangan itself consists of two words. Pale means incarnation or interpretation, and lintang means asterism. So every priest in Bali, or it is called pendeta, the pendeta and also pedanda will read a kid or any kinds of people that want to have a vision. So the priest could see their fate, their future, based on reading their Palelintangan or their born day. But aside from traditional astrological system, Palelintangan also used to determine the great feast day like Galungan, Nyepi, or Kuningan, and then they also link it to lunar cycle to determine the Saka calendar system. And also they sometimes use Palelintangan to decide which one is the best day to do their daily activities like fishing, farming, to do the marriage, and so on. So from all of the collection, we could see that this is the basic pattern of the Palelintangan. There are 7 times 7 metrics. We could see that this is the first row. The first row contains the deities, the order of deities in 7 days. So this one is Sunday to Saturday. And then the second to the sixth rows are the lintangs or the asterism, and the last row is the animals. So as we could see that the first column and the first row here is Sanghyang Indra. In this depiction, we could see that there is a deities here called Sanghyang Indra, and then he has an assistant, a wayang called Mantri. And then the other variable from this artwork also shows a tree that related to Sanghyang Indra and also Manuk or bird. So each deity has their own bird and also has their own wood, like that. And this Sanghyang Indra will control the Sunday or Redite. So following to the next row, we could see that these are 35 lintang or 35 asterism. Like in the first one here, it is called lintang kala songsang. So this is a kind of creature, a demon that is an upside down demon. So kala is a demon or also a time, and sungsang means an upside down. So kalau sungsang is an upside down demon. And for the lintang here, we could determine that everybody who born in Sunday, Umanis, they will have this lintang. They will have this kalasungsang. And then for my further research, I have upload every details, every data here in ASE, in all skies encyclopedia, and we also reconstruct the Kalasungsang asterism with my app called Sky Culture Maker here. It is Kalasungsang. And then we could also extract the output to the stellarium here. This is Kalasungsang. Okay, so this is the first one. And then for the last row, we could see that these are the animals. This one is eagle. So in Bali, we call it by Garuda. So an eagle here is linked to the Sunday. So this animals has a power to control the characteristic of a person, their character, about the bad character or the good character. And the reason why they put Garuda in the first day or in Redite because Garuda is the sunbird in Indian mythology and also it is a legendary eagle in Indonesia. And Garuda also used by Vishnu deity as a mount. So this eagle is the kings of the birds. From this matrix, there is another interpretation. So basically, this matrix is a combination of Saptawara and Panchavara. This 35 lintang is a combination of Saptawara and Panchavara. So we could see that we have like the similar word here, Wara. Vara itself is derived from Vara in Sanskrit, which is means by the day of the week. So in Bali, we employ some Vara here called from 1 day cycle in a week to the 10 day a week of cycle. So here we could see that Saptawara belongs to here, it means 7, and Panchavara is here 5 days. So Saptawara here is a 7 day cycle. As we know from our elders that Saptawara here is from India, not from Bali. So the Indian people came to Bali to bring the religions and also to teach us about the astronomy. But we could see that the Balinese people has adopted and localized the Saptawara here. As we could see here from the Vara itself, it's called Ravi Vara, while in Bali we call it Redite. And there is no wara in the end of the word, not like the Indian used, like Rafifara, Samavara, and all of the Vara is linked to the planet in India. But then in Bali, we use the different term. That is the first difference from India and Bali. And the second is the deities, the association deities that link to the day, to the Vara or to the Vara. Like this one, in India, for Sunday, they use Surya God, the sun god. They use sun god because they know that Surya is one of the major 5 deities in Smarta tradition. And then Surya is well worshipped in reverence because he dispels the darkness, gives lives and health to living beings. And based on Veda, he is the creator of the material in the universe. But then in Bali, they don't link the Sunday to Suryagat, but they link it to Indragat. While we call Indragat, Indragat is known as the thunder god, the war god, and also the rain god. So in Bali, most people like to worship Indra god because there is a case when Indra god helped the Balinese people to fight over a bad ruler called Maya Denawa. So the bad king, Maya Denawa, was defeated by Surya God. And that's why the Balinese people put a high respect to this god. And like the following day for Monday, in India, they link the Monday, the Samavara to the Siva, Shiva god. And we know that Siva god is the destroyer between the Trimurti, the highest deity, three gods in Hindu, and also included with Brahma and Vishnu. And beside that, Shiva also one of the five deities in Pancha Yatana Puja. And Shiva has like 10 manifestation of himself. But in Bali, they link the Monday to Batarasi or Sanghyang Sri. This one is Sanghyang Sri. So in Bali, Sanghyang Sri is a local god. Not only in Bali, we use it in Java, Sunda, Lombok, and Sri Goddess is known as the rice and fertility goddess. So there is a story behind of it. There is a daughter of a ruler that is cursed by her father, and her father cursed her as a field snake. After that, he ran from the palace. After run from the palace, then she helped the villagers over the village to fight over the past, and also because of her good deeds, the gods gave him like an eternal power and then turned her into the goddess. So that's why they really worship this Sri god. And even in every harvesting of field rice, the Balinese will have like a traditional to worshipping this kind of gods. We could see that there is some artifacts here. It is called Chile, and Chile is represented the Sri god. And this is the following day. So we could see that they there are some difference between the Indians here and the Balinese. Aside from Saptawara, Palelintangan also combined with Pancawara, the 5 days. So the 5 days is also called market days. We could see that there is 5 days such as Kliwon, Umanis, Pahing, and then there is Pon and Wage. Balinese and also the others nearly island like Javanese and Lombok call this 5 day cycle as pasaran or the market days. They use those market days to open the market as an opening day for the market. So, as an example, there is a market known as Kliwon Market, and this kind of market will only sell some specific stuff. Not all of the stuff will sell in the same day. Not will sell in the same day for the whole week. So, like in Cleveland, maybe they will just sell the seafood, but not in the umanis, not in the buying. And then every village has different market days. That's why they use this benchmark to open their market. The reason why they do this Panchawara thing because they think that the community's economy will be evenly distributed. That's why they use this idea to cover the poverty and the hunger. And then for the Panchawara, they also link each days to the wind cardinal here, the wind direction to the north is southwest and also in the middle. So we could see that Wage here is belongs to the north, Omanis, Paying, Pon, and Kliwon. And also each days has their own deities. Meanwhile, in Lontar Medangkemulan, Pancawara are the manifestation of Sanghyang Pancakora. They say that the Sanghyang Garga is incarnated into Kliwon and so on. But then they also mention that Pancawara here is the patrap or the posture of the moon. There are like five kinds of features. So the Balinese people see that there is a man in the moon. So from the moon, we could see that there is a standing man or the facing man to the earth, the sleeping man, the sitting man, and also the back of the man. As we know that the moon are different in both hemisphere. Like this is the view from the northern, and this is the view from the southern. We could see that this one is a picture from our planetarium in Indonesia. So this is the features of a man in the moon. We could see that this is the head, and then this one is the body. This one is the bottom, the legs. And then here we could see that the man is reading to a mantras book. Okay, so aside from Pancawara and Saptawara, at least Palelintangan itself is has an influence from the combination of Saptawara Pancawara. But then we could think that there are another possible sources for this Palelintangan. As Palelintangan is provided in Museum Bali, which is we could see here in Denpasar, and Denpasar is in Bali. Here we could see Bali in Indonesia. Maybe it's a little too small because Bali is a small island but has a rich culture. So if we zoom in to the Indonesian here, to Indonesia, there is another thing that could be the influence of Palelintangan. So, Indonesia, we know that there is a religion spread over the Indonesian from China and also the India. We indicate that there is an influence from Buddhist and also from Hindus to the Palelintangan, because in Palelintangan we could find that there are some lintang, some asterism which is linked to the nakshatra, while in the reality nakshatra is a product of Buddhist and also Hindus astrology. Nakshatra is the 27 and sometimes 28 lunar mention for the Indian, and then the Buddhist and Hindus also use nakshatra for themselves. We know that in Indonesia, the Hindus come first and the Buddhists come second, but then it is not the same case for Bali. In Bali, we could found that the Buddhists come first and then the Hindus come second, which is it is really unpredictable because why the Balinese people could receive the religion of Buddhist first, not the Hindus, as Bali only has like a small area of an island rather than the other island amongst Bali. But then we could prove that there is some clay tablet here, the clay stupika containing the Buddhist spell and stand or tablet bearing in the Sanskrit pranagari inside the stupika. And then, based on the comparison of the content of mantras and the shape in the script, it can be estimated that the relics here are the similar mantra with the doorstep of Kalasan Temple, where Kalasan Temple actually is the Buddhist temple in central Java. So it is dating from 778 CE. And these clay tablets are found around Pejing village and also Baduli village in Gianyar, Regency, Bali. We could see that there are few clay stupika here, and the other one is the stupika which has a decorated with Dhyani Buddhist, and they also use this stupika for their worshipping. And then this strengthened discovery in Bali also the Yumupakata inscription. So this copper inscription is found in Gianyar also, and it is dating to 804 Saka or 882 CE, and then it contains the order from community leaders to Buddhist religious scholars to build the religious sacred building. So this is the copper inscription of Yomapakata. And then we could see that this one is the inscription case, and which has a dimension of 33 times 10 times 20 centimeters. And from this discovery, we know that the nakshatra, which is linked to the Palelintangan, could maybe the nakshatra from Hindus. The nakshatra from Buddhist, proven by the stupika and also the inscription. And then there are some open questions to these findings. The first one, when exactly did Palelintangan exist or was created in Bali? And then why did Buddhism come to Bali first, not the Hindus? Whereas in Indonesia, Hindus came to Indusantara first. And then what beliefs existed before the Buddhist in Bali? And the last one is what sky culture already exists in Bali, as Balinese ancestors have used the sky in their lives before the arrival of other religions. Then, uh, for the further research, we also could do the research in Palelintangan in Lontar or the palm leaves because after we found Palelintangan here, we just have the cloth collection, not the lontar, which is in reality the Balinese use lontar first, not the cloth. And then the second is the further research on nakshatra in Lontar Namaning Minta. That's all. Thank you.